Hey, ProdigiousTrip here. Sorry it's been a while since I've actually made a video. I've been sick. I'm still kind of getting over it. I'm trying my best to get my strength back. I actually missed a couple days of work. It hasn't been good. And I think it's just a cold, but I mean, it's not really good. I can't stand being sick. I can't. It sucks. Anybody who's been sick, you know what it feels like. So, sorry I haven't posted anything in a while. I was thinking of doing a spoiler corner again and do another show, but I don't want to do episode to episode like I was, because I was going to do Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and I really loved Scott Pilgrim the movie. I actually have the books, so the show coming out, I was like, oh, I had to see it because the artwork is the same as the comic book, which is perfect. It looks great. Everybody's back too from the movie to voice their own characters, so this was great. But instead of just doing episode to episode, I'll just tell you the whole thing, because there's only 8 episodes, and since they're not that long, I might as well just go ahead and just tell you what I thought of the whole series, the whole thing. Spoiler alert, like I said, because I'm going to probably have to ruin a couple episodes and stuff to tell you how I think about it and what's going on. And so the first episode actually goes pretty much how the movie started. How Ramona's in Scott's head going through subspace. One of the things in the movie they don't actually explain a lot is subspace. How she travels, how she navigates her universe. And of course, one of the subspace highways goes right through his head. And so she's like, yeah, it's a shortcut. So I like doing that. They didn't explain, she said it in the movie, but they don't really explain what the subspace was. And they explain more in the books. In here, they do actually go through it a couple more times, so I do like that. And what I thought what they were going to do with the show was going to be, okay, so they're going to do Scott Pilgrim, but they're gonna break it down like maybe book to book, and explain more and go over different stuff that they couldn't in a full length movie. And so I was like, hey, I have no problem with that. They'll explain more. And no, the first episode, right up to the end, right before Matthew Patel shows up, everything is the same as in the movie, right up until he actually fights Matthew. He's supposedly dating Knives, and then he ends up meeting Ramona. And the only thing different from her character in the movie in this is that she's actually working for Netflix delivering DVDs instead of Amazon, which is funny. I don't care. I like that. Again, they didn't change anything really about the characters besides like little things like that, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't mind it. And so Scott still stays over at her house. Nothing happens, but the next day he's like, yeah, hey, come see our band play. And they do play different music than they had in the movie, except for when Envy Adams is singing. I think she does, or they do play her band's called the Clash of Demon Head, and they do play the song, I think it's Black Sheep? No. Whatever song they sang in the movie, they did play it they played a rendition of it, at least in this show. So I had to like that. But again, I had no idea where they were going to go with this. I thought it was going to be completely, maybe book for book or something, or at least like the movie, but, elaborated more. And so I was like, all right, so he's about to fight Matthew Patel. He's about to beat him. And then they're going to learn about the 7 evil X's. So during the song, first off, they did change something. Crash and the Boys canceled. So they never even showed up. So Sex Bomb is the first ones up. And I was just like, okay, I don't know why they changed that. And then Matthew Patel shows up to fight Scott. And oddly enough, boom, first episode, KO. And Scott Pilgrim's dead. Or so to speak. And so I was just like, I have no idea where they're going with this. Like, this is not in the comic books or the graphic novel, whatever. Like, Scott doesn't die until, like, right before he fights Gideon. And I'm just like, they changed that, so I don't know what they're going to do. And so this whole show is pretty much actually about Ramona and the evil X's. Like, Matthew Patel, then, he goes back to the evil X's, and he actually fights Gideon and takes over Gideon's spot. And he throws Gideon out like he's just a piece of trash. And Gideon ends up going back to Julie, who I guess they knew each other in high school. And so, yeah, Gordon Goose is his, like, real name or something, which is really funny. So, I was like, wow, you killed Scott in the first episode. Okay, not sure exactly where you're supposed to go with this. And so in the second episode, it shows Ramona trying to figure out, who, or, they have a funeral and everything for him. And it's really funny. Envy Adams shows up. And she goes, yeah, I dated Scott for like, a couple of weeks or something like that. And then she sings the song and everyone's like, yay, Envy Adams is here. Like nobody even cares that it's Scott's funeral. And the funny thing is because, when someone dies in the thing, they turn into coins. So it looked like just like 3 cents when Scott dies. So of course, an open casket, and inside the casket is a 3 cents. I thought that was pretty funny. And they got everybody back who does the voices from the movie. So I was like, this is awesome. Like, I was really impressed. Again, but the dialogues, everything is different now because Scott's dead. So none of the evil exes are fighting, except they fight each other. Roxy still fights Ramona, which is, I think, like in the third episode or the second episode or something. So, like, they fight off pretty quick. And then Lucas Lee fights a bunch of paparazzi. And they're kind of like ninjas. So I thought it was supposed to be like maybe like how they did in the video game where Knives and her dad, I think they had like a ninja clan or something like that. And that was in the video game where they had that. So I don't know if they were going to copy that or not or whatever. But no, just the paparazzi all is made up of ninjas trying to take his picture and stuff. And so he fights them in one of the episodes. So each episode has like a fight scene with one of the exes, but not with Scott or Ramona. It's now with whoever, with these random people. And I'm just like, it was really interesting because they actually, you fleshed out all these characters more. Because in the movie, you only knew Lucas Lee just from a little part, as well as Todd Ingram. You only, saw these guys just for a little bit and then they were killed. So in here, Ramona, at the end of the second episode, she has another dream, but she's going through subspace, and she hears Scott, and she wakes up, she's like, he's alive. So Scott Pilgrim wasn't killed, he was just, someone made it look like he died. And so the next like 5 episodes are all about Ramona trying to figure out who killed Scott Pilgrim. And so I was like, this is actually a really, again, completely different storyline, and I actually really like it. I really did. I was really surprised because, again, you got all the same voice actors. I love these characters. And so Ramona's going around and someone even refers to her as like, hey, you're like that famous detective, Detective Pikachu. So I was like, okay. So she has everyone listed down, like all the evil exes, trying to figure out like, who could possibly do this. And so she thought that maybe Todd Ingram, he has the, because of his vegan powers, there's a portal that she found. I guess she finds like some footage at the rocket, and she was able to slow it down, and it shows a portal opening up underneath Scott right before the finishing fight move with Matthew Patel, and someone pulls him under, and the portal shuts, and someone just throws a change, so it looks like Scott Pilgrim was KO'd. And so I was really, again, I'm just like, wow, this is really in depth. And so like I have no idea where this is going. And by like, if it's like the 5th or 6th episode, all the evil exes they're like, well, none of them are the bad guy. And sure enough, like Scott just shows up and he goes, hey, sorry I'm late. She goes, where have you been? What happened to you? Who was the one that, kid that tried to kill you and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, it was me. And again, big shock, big reveal. Again, spoiler alert, please. Just, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's only 8 episodes. Really great show. Can't believe how much I love this show. How the way that they did this, I was really surprised at how the way that it turns around in the end. Maybe I won't spoil the ending. Yeah, you know what? How about that? You just, if you want to figure out how it ends, I kind of did spoil a little bit, but watch the rest of it to know like how it fully ends. The final episode is actually, I think it's actually called The World versus Scott Pilgrim. I thought that was great because that was the name of the movie. I think that was the name of the last book, or maybe it was one of the middle one or something. But yeah, you got to check this out. It was really good, really great. The animation is perfect. Love the fight scenes. Again, it's, you know, it's technically an anime. Just, you know, the way that, you know, normal animes are. It's not Japanese anime. This is like a, I don't know, but I really liked it. I love the way the drawings are. It's kind of the way that the book is drawn is how they did it. So it's perfect. Yeah, go check it out. And if you want, I'll do another video where I explain the rest of the show and how the show ends and stuff. Because from here, I have no idea where they're going to go with this, if they do like a season 2 or not or something. Because they did get Edgar Wright back. He's the guy who directed the movie. Edgar Wright has done some great movies. Oh my goodness. You know, Shaun of the Dead. Again, Scott Pilgrim. I think actually he did all of the ones with Simon Pegg. So there was Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then At the World's End. That was it. They did those 3 movies. And I think he did Baby Driver. So that was a pretty good one. I don't know of all of Edgar Wright's movies. I just know of some of them. And the ones that I have seen, I did like. So, again, he actually had part in the show, too. So, and I guess the guy who created the show, or created the books, Brian Lee O'Malley, he decided that he wanted to do a different take on Scott and everything. So that's why everything was different from the books. If they make more books, that'd be perfect. I love that. That'd be awesome. So they just took what they had in the book and they changed it for the show, and I think it came out great. It even talks about it in the show too, that there's a screenplay that young Neil is writing, or that he thinks he wrote, and it's the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And so in the movie, Scott does defeat all the evil exes, but in the show he doesn't. And it's great. You got to check it out. So, like I said, I'm still trying to heal. Sorry about my voice and how it sounds. Hopefully, I'll get some more medicine going here, and I'll be able to get some more videos going for you guys. So, ProdigiousTrip. See you later.